Yeah. I guess I could actually check on my phone. Look, I'm Nathan.
Oh my god. Oh, it worked.
It did?
Yeah.
Hey, we stole fire. We are Prometheus.
Woo!
All right, hold on. I'm going to the bottom rogue. Well, I guess we can actually turn on the cameras. We'll see who's here and when and what. Oh, look at this. We're live. Unboxing Torbrenner. No viewers. It's delightful. Here, put me on camera. Or maybe do that 4-shot.
Yep. Alright. Let me adjust it so... Whoop. Here's the 4-shot.
Hey. Oh, you know what? That fourth one, put yourself in there.
Cool. Let me adjust that real fast.
You gotta treat yourself.
Alright.
I look like a child about to eat a giant cardboard box.
Ah.
All right, it says here 13 minutes ago and no views.
Let me check.
And also, I don't see anyone in the chat.
Yeah, that's...
So you're doing everything inside vMix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, well, since you have the... Oh, is it one button that you have to press?
Yeah, let me check the buttons.
I'm going to stop backseat teching. I'm going to let you cook. Oh yeah, it only shows one live broadcast from 1 year ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, so I'm trying to fix that. Where do I tell you to go live? Because you are going live.
I'm not trying to backseat, but I'm pretty sure it'll just work if you just use the virtual camera output from vMix and stream it through the browser. But,
all right.
Because I don't know.
No, because it's piping through with the stream key.
I don't know that I ever I don't know how you run it.
I did. So went to YouTube Live, found the key, threw it in here.
Oh, because it was logged in on there?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Continue allowing. It's allowed. YouTube, find it. Guess what I was about to do. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Oh, the visibility's on this.
we are live. Oh, this is unlisted.
Yeah,
So
that's...
then we'll switch this to. Yeah, we don't want this. So we go.
Live? Hey, we did it. Cool. Okay. Whee.
Ah, there we go. Test 1, 2, check 1, 2. Woo! Hey, there we go. Do me a favor on the chat. If you just give me a little control. There you go. Look at that. We did it. We did it. Woo! Hey, Rick Smith Jr. is joining us. Rick, I hope you enjoyed. I posted a short recently of us learning the coin flipping thing. And it's one of those perfect loop shorts that I'm, chef's kiss. I'm so excited about. Here, give me my solo shot here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Sean Jackson, by the way, all-star. Sean Jackson, who's been very polite, very kind, very patient. Oh, you can bring that music down just a bit. Sean has been writing me emails very patiently, but very firmly, asking for status updates on both Torbrenner and the Ballyhoo puzzle box, which I'm realizing we are going to have to do an unboxing of the final production unit of that one, too. But... here's a little peekaboo. This is just for you, Sean Jackson. There you go. You didn't see that. I haven't even officially announced it to the public. It's only the email people who know about this. By the way, if you want to be one of the beautiful email people, just gimme.scamstuff.com. All right, so here's the game. I'm going to call the guy who made Torbrenner possible. Call Ryer Appledorn. And then here, I guess, oh, you know what? Do we have another mic just sitting around?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Toast. Okay, I think I got it set up right. Are you able to, there we go. Are you able to see the live stream, Ryer? On the Modern Road? Yeah? Yes, just went live. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. We're having to figure out some of the tech nonsense stuff, but that's all good. First... oh, good. Right on. So, I'm going to assume that there's a reason a human child could fit inside the box that you sent.
Well, I didn't send just
Okay.
one Torbrenner.
Okay. Well, I was about to say that would be the most secure packaging on the planet if that's the way we did it. Okay, I don't have to worry about accidentally.
That's how I fulfill everything from CSstuff.com. That's why shipping costs are so high.
Oh, people are saying they can't hear the second mic if Ryder's talking, so I think it's this one. I'm thumping it. If that helps.
Tap that mic harder.
I am. I'm full on thumping it. You got. By the way, this is a number of debuts. This is the first time we're using this studio for a proper live stream. Hopefully, it'll be the first of very many. I'm really, really excited about taking advantage of all the podcast live streaming capabilities that we have. Oh, there we go. That'll do. Yeah, I'll just set that there. There, Mike. Ryer, you have your own microphone.
Hooray! Do you just have me on speakerphone? And
Yes. It turns out that
Awesome.
technology is good at, like, well, you heard the last week's Great Night episode. That whole, like, the radio ad and all of the talking with the chat GPTs and whatnot, all of that was just speakerphones. Like, somehow equipment got good when I wasn't paying attention.
Really? Wow, that's...
Yeah, it sounded like it was piped in, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Okay, so for everybody just joining us, first of all, how many first-timers in the chat right now? Just, we got kind of a gang sign that we do, kind of a less than, greater than, looks like a diamond. That's usually what people throw up. If anybody's uninitiated, that's also how, whenever somebody wants to make a sassy comment, if you don't want Brian's snark in response, you can always throw up the diamond sign, and I know it's all done with love and affection, which is a pretty effective heuristic. But for anybody who is new or just joining us, we have Torbrenner. How do you describe Torbrenner, Ryer?
I've been calling it the ultimate pocket torch.
Pocket torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going. Use words.
Well, yeah, the ultimate. So I call it the ultimate pocket torch, and it's a kit for kind of having an instant flame, or the power of instant flame in your hand.
Well, and not just like a lighter, because lighters get blown away by the wind, and actually,
Right, yes.
that would be a very light lighter if it actually blew away in the wind. I mean the flame.
I've been testing it all week because we've had a lot of winter storms here, and yeah, it holds up to wind. It's holding up to moisture. Getting beat around, bat around. It's pretty hardcore. It's pretty cool. Also, it just looks awesome.
Well, we're gonna. I mean, that's the big selling point, is that we wanted something that just looks so badass that everybody who sees it would instantly go, "Whoa, what's that?" And that you'll have a good story to tell. And speaking of story, you casually called it. What did you call it? A trench lighter? And then you just, as if it's the most common thing that everybody should know. Where it's like, oh yeah, it was, popular in World War I. It's how prisoners with time on their hands would reshape bullet casings into miniature lighters.
Yeah, the original. There's a whole crazy history of trench art and trench lighters, but this one's inspired from some design that someone made where it keeps the wicks dry, and it has a lot of wicks. So even though it's going to use more fuel than a single wick lighter, it can light anything. And if you're keeping it in your pocket while you're walking around in muddy trenches, you can still strike it, ignite it without having to take your gloves off, without having to dig around in your pockets or anything like that. And then you can light your cigarette or your fuse or a cannon or whatever, and it's all made just from the original mix of bullet shells. It's pretty cool.
Cool. So I guess Nathan, feel free to switch to whatever camera looks good from this point forward. Which of these things should I grab first? Ryer.
I sent you 3 Torbrenners, and I sent you a couple signs that I made for Torbrenner as well.
Okay, so let's start with the accoutrement. We'll save the big reveal. What should? Oh,
Okay,
look at this. Hold on.
So
Wait. It says, my dearest Brian Brushwood, the Torbrenner that is wrapped in gray leather is complete. I only had one knife. Love, Ryer. Oh, you're the sweetest.
So those are going to be the 3 Torbrenner kits that are in there.
Oh.
So if you want to start the accoutrement, the other 2 things in the box
Okay.
are the signs.
Do we have that over the shoulder shot? There we go. Okay, so, oh my God, I know what this is. Okay, so one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted people to understand instantly, and it's, oh, sorry. It's harder than one might think. Here, I'm actually gonna sit you on the ground, Ryer. I hope you don't mind.
That's okay.
Here we go. Okay, so you and the mic are on the ground. Tell me a bit about how you came up with the imagery for Torbrenner.
Yeah, so we had talked about trying to go with sort of like a Norse imagery thing, right? My initial thing was I want to do this like sketch of Thor, but incorporate fire into it, and so that started what was this, which I meant to be the original logo for Torbrenner. And I wanted to look not like, Thor with Mjolnir or whatever like that, but I wanted to be this, sort of fiery thunder god thing.
Yeah, not cartoon Thor. Actual, I'm terrified of thunder Thor.
Yeah, and so it was started out as a drawing, and then because we ended up going a different direction with the packaging, I was like, oh well, let's make sort of like an arcane sign or whatever that could be an indicator that Thor was once here, or this is like a gift from Thor. So I made this plank and I carved it to look like weathered old wood, and then I burned it so it looked like fire was involved, and yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna find a home for this. This looks like it could be like this is straight up wall art. This one's one for the trophy hall of trophies. I'd like to imagine we have. Okay, there's a smaller.
Well, we do have it.
Yeah, I guess I do. I literally have a hall filled with trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell a story about that later. Okay, how did you make these? These are regular wood that you carved to look like other pieces of wood?
Yeah, they're just just pine that I laminated together into a board, and I like using pine for like the old weathered signs because they've got a really wide grain pattern. So once I've got that laminated up, I will sandblast it with my sandblaster, and then that kind of shows off that crazy wide grain pattern. And then I carve in the imagery, sometimes with hands, sometimes with the laser.
So this one specifically, I couldn't tell looking at it. I didn't know how much was done with like handed Dremel or how much was done with laser etching or what.
That was all the one that. Let's see, which one are you holding?
I'm holding the smaller one that says Torbrenner on it.
That one was all done by hand with chisels.
Get out.
Yeah.
So not even a Dremel. Were you annoyed? A couple people in the comments were annoyed that Bill Duran and I were using Dremels to create that 7-acre Schwood sign. Did it hurt your soul that we were using Dremels?
Only because I have bad teeth and it was giving me dental PTSD.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
A tool is a tool, man. If a tool can give you the results you want, then use it.
All right, here I'm gonna let's. Yeah, there we go. We got this sweet over-the-shoulder thing. We have the ominous "Fire Be Gone" over here. Okay. Well, at least now I understand why the box was gigantic. And I guess so. At this point, I'll pull out. You said the one with the gray leather wrap.
Sorry, say it again.
You said the one with the gray leather wrap.
Yeah, the gray.
Okay. The where are we at on the leather color? We just assume that we're going to give people a variety of different leathers and just know that whatever color you get, worst case you can get a different color. But
that's what I would like to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for that because we really want to make these personalized. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am positively tumescent. I am. Let's do this.
So, all the packaging for this, we wanted to do like a Norse thing, but I didn't want to be too on the nose with that. And so, my inspiration for everything is from an artist named Joseph Boyes, who makes these sleds that he then wraps with different types of survival gear. So they'll have like a bedroll or a flashlight or whatever. And they're these sculptures that are meant to be like survival kits that get you through any part in your life, whatever. So that's what this all started as being inspired from as far as the design goes.
Well, so for packaging, because we this is one of those trade-off moments, and I think it's the right call because we care ultimately about how everything arrives. Like, obviously, we're not super thrilled that we have to put 21st century plastics on what we want to feel like this incredible, 4th century artifact. But I'd rather it arrive in awesome, pristine condition than not.
Exactly.
So if you're giving this as a gift, just know that you'll probably want to do what I'm doing right now, which is just peel that plastic off, and then that way you know everything has arrived nicely. There we go. So that the
there's a little bit of double stick tape on the back of the back of the leather, just to hold it in place.
So yeah, it is stuck on there. There we go. So I got it. Okay, so what you want to do after doing that, basically this is, God, what a shot. Look at that. Could you imagine one of our missions on this was, I was like, I want something that you could give it to somebody. They can never have heard of the modern rogue. They can never heard of a Brian Brushwood. And in fact, we invented the term Torbrenner because Tor is Norwegian for Norwegian for Thor, and Brenner is flame. So it's like, Thor's flame was just metal AF. Anyway, so yeah, which I think this all passes the test. Okay, so what is the preferred, in your perfect experience, how do people pull this off?
You can loosen it a little bit, the leather the leather strap that holds the leather sheet on.
Yeah.
And you can slide that off, so that way you can use it to wrap up the Torbrenner later. So if you can just slide that right off.
There we go. Judith Optik in the chat says, this is an RPG magic item. I want a stat now. First of all, +1 to fire magic, +2 to charisma. It's also in the worst case, it's it'll be an improvised bludgeon that you could do. It's -1 to vampires, or Frankensteins. Okay. So the leather strap. Well, here we'll get to that. For the leather strap that comes. This is eventually what you wrap the Torbrenner in, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is the big moment. Oh, good. Oh, that came out so great. So because cosmically, the Torbrenner just happens to be the exact right size and shape to eat fire. As a matter of fact, when you showed me the early prototype, I forget which one of us brought up whether or not you could eat fire, but I just ate fire, and then you were like, amazed, and I was amazed that you were amazed. But at any rate, it comes with a copy of The Professional's Guide to Fire Eating, and all of this becomes tinder for your tinder box. And then inside the tinder, it comes with char cloth, because there's really only two things that you're going to do with the Torbrenner. You're either going to light a cigar, which is why the box is the appropriate length for you to keep one or two of your favorite stogies in there. And so it's a functional cigar box, and it's a tinder. You get the copy of The Professional's Guide to Fire Eating. You also want to be able to carry your fuel with you, and so this uses standard Zippo fuel. All of this etched on here, and we couldn't decide whether or not the R's should always be backwards or just some of the time, and we ended up with some of the time.
So I think just for the Torbrenner logo specifically.
Yeah, because that's also reminiscent of the backwards BB. Oh, that's great, and it even comes with a funnel to make it easy to put your fuel in there. And tell me about the knife that we found.
Yeah, so the knife is kind of cool. It's got so you can use it for carving your, making more tinder or making a fire stick or something like that. But then that hole that's in the middle, you can fit a good sized cigar in there, so you can use it as a cigar cutter as well.
Yeah, it's a little cigar guillotine on there. And it's got a money clip aspect to it on there too. So you just put money clip on there. Actually, I've got too much money. So I'm not going to do that. But it also has the kind of pendant on there, another piece of leather on there. And so this part, some folks may be confused by why they got just an extra tube.
Oh, yeah. So that is the shaft extension. So if you want to keep your hand further away from what you're lighting, or if you want to have a longer handle on the Torbrenner for fire eating or something like that, you can slip that on. You can screw it on.
Yeah.
So if you, give that a little twist and then.
Oh yeah.
Pull it.
Yeah. This is if you want more of a, I'm holding a torch and I'm going to do this for fire eating, etc.
Yep.
Oh, I guess we should point out, actually, this is it the bottom part? Yeah. This bottom part is a sneaky place to hold more of the flints because the flints are oversized. Oh, it's stuck in there. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get it out later. But there's a little cache to keep extra flints in there.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if there's an extra one in that one.
Okay, well, then that would explain why nothing came out.
Yeah.
There we go. And then, so now we actually have a proper fire eating torch. And here, if you go on the wide real quick, the flint being there is not ideal. So I wouldn't say that this is a substitute instead of building your own fire eating torch. It's just, if you happen to know how to eat fire, you're going to be able to do that just fine. But we'll talk about the flint thing in a second. But if you're going to keep it in your pocket, here, we'll go back to this shot. If you're going to keep it back in your pocket, you're probably just going to keep it this way, right? And now let's talk through the art that you put on here. Oh, that was me teeing you up.
Oh, sorry. I'm not really. I'm not watching live, so I'm not sure what we're doing.
Oh,
so
that's fine. I'm just showing off the actual art. It's oh, you know what? There we go. It's describe. You were telling me about all the different acid and.
Oh yeah. So when in our shop when we engrave, we use something called a laser marking solution, which is liquid ceramic. And when you heat it, it bonds that ceramic to the surface of metal. And that's how you do, heat resistance on certain spacecraft and pots and pans and things like that. But I wanted the Torbrenner to look more like it was really beat in there. So we came up with the graphic for Torbrenner, which is based off of runes. And then we make a mask, a resistant mask. And then
you know what? Actually, here, you keep talking. I'm going to tee up that video that you made. Keep explaining.
Okay. Yeah. So we use an acid, and the mask prevents the acid from eating away the brass where it is, and where it isn't, it eats away at the brass, making sort of a permanent engraving. It's based, or the engraving process. It's typically called photo etching because you would use a photo exposure to make the mask. We're using the laser to do that. So I put a paint on there, and that acts as a liquid frisket, and then I burn away with the laser where the logo is going to be before it goes into the acid bath.
Okay. Well, here. So here we go. We got your making of. We got our very own how it's made video. Before anyone says it, I want to hear boo about your complaining about vertical video. Just tilt your phone and pinch and zoom. Take a look at this. That was me saying hit play on that.
CO2 laser. And to mark metal with a CO2 laser, you have to use a laser marking spray, which is effectively a very thin coat of ceramic medium. That ceramic medium melts when the laser hits it and permanently bonds to the metal surface. And that is how we engrave something like the Rogue's rings. For Torbrenner, I wanted a different look. I wanted something that was more permanent, more timeless. And so we're going to use a process called acid etching, but we're still going to use the laser to get the image on the metal. Hey, so this is me later after the project is done, and I realized that I forgot to mention a step of the process. The Torbrenner bodies arrive like this from the factory in the raw form. We have to mask them, and the most effective way I've found to mask them is by first coating them in spray paint. Okay, so we've got the painted Torbrenner all loaded up into the rotary jig, and now all we have to do is go. Okay, so here's Torbrenner with the paint engraved away and all masked up and everything like that. And so now all we have to do is put it in the acid bath. We'll come back in a few minutes and check on it. Okay, been cooking for a little while. Things are looking good, so now we gonna go over. And this is just a bath of a basic solution to neutralize the acid. Easy peasy. And then we rinse it off. Okay, so we've got the mask and the paint all cleaned off of this Torbrenner, and I went ahead and sandblasted it so we could have a nice, even surface finish. And that's gonna be important. We're almost at our final step here, where we're going to add the patina. And we're doing this using phosphoric acid, which is gonna darken the brass, kind of add a natural patina color, but it'll also add a little bit of protection against fingerprints and smudges and things like that, and sort of just tie the whole look together. Okay, we're down to our final step. That last little bit of the blackener really toned things down quite a bit, and I think it looks pretty good just like this, but we're gonna just give a little bit of a polish. It's really gonna set it off. So we just got a little bit of a buffing pad, and look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that is a beauty. And the trick to making this look really good is making sure that all of our polishing marks go in the same direction. We don't want too much cross-hatching, because we want this to have sort of a timeless, ethereal sheen to it. But a little bit of finesse, a little bit of patience. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful Torbrenner. In fact, it's Torbrenner number 1. I think it looks beautiful. It looks fantastic. And just for the sake of experimentation, I used some of that standard laser marking spray, that ceramic spray, to do a different Torbrenner body, just as a test. And that looks good, but it's not quite the look, you know? And I think having it actually be engraved, hand finished, hand polished, just beautiful. Just fantastic.
Oh, hells yeah. All right, so I think King Shaggy came late. For doing it as a fire-eating torch, you use the extender on there, and you end up with something, you know, closer to like this. Also, it sounds like King Shaggy knows his salt when it comes to fire-eating. One of the biggest things, part of the reason you want a long rod in fire-eating is because you worry about the metal getting hot enough to burn you. It's not the actual wicking that you worry about, it's the metal. But in this case, because it's all solid brass all the way through, it's an incredible heat reserve that it's a lot like the heat sinks that are on your computer. And even, you know, this size, it's easy enough to eat. And of course, it uses just standard Zippo lighter fluid, or I have, and I believe I did for some of the demo gifts that I put on there, I used Coleman camp fuel. The problem with Coleman camp fuel is that what makes it good as a fire-eating fuel does not make it good as an everyday carry lighter. And Torbrenner is going to be one that you're going to leave at your favorite spot to smoke cigars, or if you are going out, it fits in your pocket like nothing. I mean, it's no big deal. So
yeah, you don't have to use just Zippo fluid on it. for it. I've been experimenting with lots of different types of fluid, some that are maybe not advisable, but the Zippo stuff doesn't evaporate as quickly as something else. But so I mean, if you wanted to use it, I think even like liquid paraffin, like lamp oil or something, you can use it in there.
Yeah, well, and of course, whatever fuel you use is going to affect the amount of flame you get. And just like anything else, you could position all of the wicks so that you maximize surface area. In this case, this one is set. I tweaked it out so that you get a very nice, robust flame. This one, but that's going to burn a lot of your fuel really fast. Whereas if you're going to use it over an entire night, you just want to make sure that you can light your cigar. You can set the wicking. You can tease it out to keep a more modest, conservative flame. But the important part. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you said you use your fuel fast. So if you got a second, why don't you unscrew the flint cap on the side of one of those Torbrenners?
Okay. Oh, what's funny is I was like, which is the new one? And I remembered, good thing they're individually numbered. So this is 0000, the first prototype, and then this one is 0001. Okay, so unscrew the bottom part or the top part?
The flint cap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So this thing right here is quite simply a spring that pushes the ferrocerium rod in there. And one of the things I love about this is that you'll notice you get a big spark. That's because it's like a double size. What size are these ferrocerium rods?
It's a 4mm flint. So it's almost twice the, or a little more than twice the size of like a standard lighter flint.
Yes.
It throws a lot of sparks, so that way you can get all those wicks going each time.
Yeah. Here, let's get the up close on this. There we go. On this one, you can see that your ferrocerium rod, your ferrocerium rod goes in there. Torbrenner, it's so good. And then the spring goes on there, and then as you attach this on there, you can control the amount of spark you want. So if you want to, again, be conservative with using up your flint, you can do this, but you notice I got no spark. That's because there's very little spark. That way, you're also not stripping the ferrocerium, but let's say you want to make sure that it lights every time, you could just twist it to get it tighter on there, and then you get a big explosion spark when it goes on there. And this is the one go ahead.
So I say, go ahead and have you taken off the flint cap?
Okay.
And take the flint out.
Yep.
And then, have you done that? Is there no flint inside the?
Yeah, no, there is. You can see it's there you go. It's about, I don't know. Yeah, it looks about 1/3 used.
Yeah. Okay. And then while the flint is still out, also unscrew the part at the bottom that you hit against your thigh or against the surface to light it. Take that off as well.
Okay, sure. Let me set these over here. And then you're talking about this part down here. The very bottommost part where the button is.
There's the button, and then there's the thing the button screws into. Take those both off, so you just have the rod on the bottom, like you were putting on the extension.
Yep. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so now you should be able to take the actual wick section out of the body of Torbrenner.
Oh, wait. You mean? Well, what do you? Oh, got it. You're saying with that off. Oh, you're talking about the fact that everything is removable, everything can be cleaned, everything can be polished up.
So you take that out, and you see there's like that wide part of the top where the wicks are.
Yep.
That's all fuel tank.
So all of this is your fuel bank.
Right. So you can put so with this type of lighter, just like a Zippo or something like that, you're always going to get a little bit of evaporation. And actually, the Torbrenner is a little bit better than a Zippo because it's got a rubber seal around the top that keeps the fuel from evaporating out.
Do you know what I noticed is that if you top it off with the Zippo fluid, when you screw that top on and you squeeze it down, that gasket increases pressure. You can actually watch the lighter fluid squeeze out to the tips on there.
It primes the wicks. But also that's a pretty big tank of fluid. So even with kind of a little bit of evaporation or whatever, you can still get quite a lot of burn if you fill that tank up to the top and get that cotton fully saturated. Yeah, but I guess fortunately, unfortunately, it's such a toy that I end up going through an awful lot of fuel. Yeah, we went to BitCon this summer. and then I drove back to Michigan from Las Vegas, and I played with the Torbrenner prototype that I had the whole way back. I burned through a lot of stuff just fidgeting with it on that long drive.
There we go. And yes, we have extra flints if you buy it from the store, but truthfully, you could just buy just get 4mm flints in bulk from Amazon.
They're a little tricky to find, but yeah, as long as it's a 4mm flint, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those that's like, hey man, we're just doing the convenient thing for you.
Yeah,
there we go. And so you can tighten this up. And there's also a little bit of the BB logo up on top, just enough to be kind of subtle branding on there. There we go. But man, this thing is going to last forever. And it also, I like the way it gets warm. Oh, you also pointed out that you figured out that you don't have to remove your gloves.
Yes, so it's been freezing here. I'm in northern Michigan, and we got a lot of snow and everything. And I really don't like having to take my gloves off when it's cold out, especially when I've got like a cigar in one hand, I got my lighter in the other hand. I always end up dropping it in the snow, something like that. So the fact that I can just pull the Torbrenner out of my pocket and just light it without having to futz around with anything is maybe my favorite thing about it right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Torbrenner, beautiful people. Available at torbrenner.com or at Scam Stuff. That's gear for the Mono Rogue. Oh man, it's a delight. We burned through our first 100 units, and actually, I think as I'm recording this, there are like 5 or 7 left that we're able to do at the launch price of $99, and then after that, it's going to have to be the real price of $149. But lovingly handcrafted. Boy, did we put a lot of thought into this one. Thank you so much, Ryer, for joining us. This is just great.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited about this one. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah, no. Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll be back with more live streams. But thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are super rad. Shine on, you crazy diamonds. Take us out, Nathan. Unless you have a review or something you want to say.
No, I do not.
All
Thank
right.
you for joining.
Let's go.
Wee.
See you, beautiful rogues.
Bonk.
Bye.